Hi, this is Shalimar Steinberg, and this is the breakdown of how you're going to do the assignment for dimensions. So the first thing you're going to do is to download this dim blank drawing, and it's going to open with these two objects, and it's also going to make sure you have the title block. And you're going to need to create a new dimension style. So you're going to go ahead and go to Manager. You're going to go in, and if you look at the example for this assignment, you'll see that it gives you it should be giving you the directions. Just a second. Okay, now it's giving you the directions, and you'll see that it's a PDF, and it goes through the steps that you need to take, and it shows you exactly which things to change on each screen. So we are going to go back in to our drawing here, and we're going to base it off of the standard. I'm going to say new. We're going to name it dim M for mechanical and 3 precision for 3 zeros. Continue. And then we're going to go to the line, and we're going to not have it extend beyond the ticks actually, but extend beyond the dim lines 0.125, and then we're going to go in and under symbols and arrows, we do want the closed fill, but we want them to be 0.125 in size. No centerworks for right now. Text, we're going to switch over to Arial, and we're going to say 0.125 for the text height. We do want it to be horizontal. We're not going to change anything on the fit screen. We're just going to use the defaults for that for right now. Primary units, we are going to change our precision to that 3 zeros that I said. I believe it was 3 zeros. Let me just double check here. Oh, no, I said 2. So we'll go ahead and switch that back to 2. There we go. And we're going to get rid of the leading zeros for both the mechanical and the regular dimensions and the angular. And then we're not going to apply alternate units or tolerances to this one. So then we'll say OK and set current, and then close. And you can see that this is the one, and I should have named it 2P if I was following the instructions correctly. Now I'm ready to go ahead and make my dimensions. So the first one that I'm going to do is going to be a linear dimension. Oops, sorry, wrong button there. And linear dimension. And I'm going to dimension this one right here. And I'm going to, actually, first I'm going to change over to my dimension layer. Make sure that things are on the correct layer. And then I'm going to go back in and do the linear one from here to here, and drag it out and type my 0.4. And then I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to use baseline. So now it's attaching to that second one, and then I can attach to the third one. And that way they're nicely clean and stacked. And I have an example drawing of what they should look like that you'll be downloading, and so it tells you where to put each one. So then the next thing I'm going to do are the continuous ones down here. So if I go back into this drawing, I'm going to go ahead and do a linear. And I need to zoom in enough to make sure that I'm snapping to the end of my object and not to the end of my other dimension line, because it's really easy to get a couple decimal points off there. And that's my 0.4, and then I'm going to choose continuous. And I'm going to go to here, and then again all the way down to here. And I'm snapping this far over because I want to be sure that I'm not still on the curve. I want the full length of the object. And then I can end that one. And if I wanted to, I could click on this and try and drag it back in. The reason it's extended like that is because it says there's not enough room in order to put the text and the arrowheads in there. So I'm just going to leave it where it is. And Next, I'm going to do my aligned dimensions. So the first one is actually, I'm going to do it on this one. And it's going to be right here, and I'm going to do that 0.4 distance again. And let me look at my example. Okay, so then I need to do one more aligned, and that is going to be this one. And I'm doing it on this view because otherwise it's going to overlap with some stuff later. And I'm dragging it off the object. And right here. Then I need to do the angle. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and pick angular. And I'm going to do this and this. And I can either do it to the outside or to the inside. Typically you want to keep dimensions off the objects, but with angles sometimes it can be a little bit different. Then we're going to do our arc length, and we're going to do that one right here, and drag it out again, that 0.4. And that shows us the length of the actual arc instead of just the radius of the circle that the arc would have been on. Then we're going to do radius, and that's going to be for this arc. We're going to drag it down a little bit. You can see it's creating that extension for me. I could do it like this, but then it's too close to being up and down. It's not the 15 to 75 degrees. So I'm going to do it like this and drag it off a little bit. And right there. And then I'm going to do my diameter. And same thing, I'm going to drag it off to the side a little bit. And let's see what else on our example. We want to do our single linears then. And so we have two more of those to put in. So we go back to the regular linear. And we're going to measure this one. We want this height. We can't do it right here because our lines would overlap and it would look confusing. So instead we're going to pick this bottom. But we're going to pick the top over here so that the line doesn't extend over our object line. It's measuring the same distance. And then we're going to drag it out and again pick that 0.4. Now in that one it was important that I picked this one first and then this one because the 0.4 is going from that last point, not 0.4 from this one, which would be right here. Then the final one that we're going to do is the same thing for right here. And again I'm going to pick this outside point and then do my 0.4. Then I'm going to take my drawing into this area and go ahead and get it centered in my window. And right now, if I try it at one of the set ones, it goes in really small. I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I did a standard or a custom scale for this. And so I said add a new one, and I'm going to call it 9 inches equals 1 foot. And I'm going to put the 9 inches for the paper units because that's how big it's going to look on paper. But in the real drawing it would be 12 inches for that 1 foot. And I'll say OK, and OK. And now I can select that from my menu. And it zooms to just about the right size there. And then that's the scale that I would put in down here and do the editing for. All right.